So here's the provisional death counts for coronavirus disease 2019, aka COVID-19. And if you look through this, you'll find this little table right here, comorbidities. So that means that something else that contributed to the death. Now, check this out. Table 3 shows the types of health conditions and contributing causes mentioned in conjunction with deaths involving coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19, right here. For 6% of the deaths, COVID-19 was the only cause mentioned. 6%. COVID-19 was the only cause mentioned. For deaths with conditions or causes in addition to COVID-19, on average, there were 2.6 additional conditions or causes per death. The number of deaths with each condition or cause is shown for all deaths and by age group for data on comorbidities. We can click here and look at this, but right there, let me read it again. For 6% of the deaths, COVID-19 was the only cause mentioned. For 6% of the deaths. So let's look at America's U.S. COVID deaths. America, 5.9 million cases, 182,000 deaths. So I'm bad at math, but I think I remember how to do this. Take 182,000, multiply that by 0.06, because that should be 6%. Correct me if I'm wrong, I am bad at math. And that means that we have only had in the United States listed 10,920 deaths directly attributed to COVID-19. 10,000. What? Does anybody else think this is fucking crazy? That the CDC came out and said this, and that it's not huge news. This is what people have been saying for the longest time since all this started. And you could even probably contest those numbers. Because you have to then consider like the false positives and the whatnot, and there's just so much bullshit surrounding COVID. But this is like an official channel, the CDC of all places. For 6% of the deaths, COVID-19 was the only cause mentioned. What? Holy shit! Okay, let's look at the calculator. Numbers don't lie, but health officials do. So we gotta consider the government health officials. Now, surely by now, it's been 5-6 months, if not more, since the main wave of COVID-19 struck the United States. Now, you may know somebody who had some severe complications because of it, and that is sad. That does suck. I personally have only seen, in my personal walk of life, I've seen my entire friend group all test positive. None of them had any symptoms. We've traveled back and forth. I've had people travel from Canada to come visit, to Texas, where, like, look, COVID-19 alert, it's in red, it has the symbol, it's scary. But this number is not even the number we should be reporting. Because this number is not, it's like, it's in the same way that you could blame it on systemic racism, another vague term, another vague thing that probably contributes in some factor. Well, we should be looking at the actual direct causes of death from COVID-19. And if that number is just 10,000,
time to unlock.
Most of those are from the elderly. You can click here if you guys want to do some investigative journalism on your own. You can click here, download that, and it'll show you the age groups. And I'm willing to bet that it's a lot of elderly or people with obesity, etc., other things. Marked as probable when they're combined with the probable and the confirmed cases of COVID, and then you lump those all into one number, that alone is nonsense. That's pseudoscience. That is the specific term, that's the exact definition of pseudoscience. But then we have an official channel coming out and finally taking the data and finding out that only 6%, only 10,000 people in the United States have died over 6 months from COVID-19 directly. That is an astronomical.
We need to open back up everything in our economy.
Figure. That is 6% of this, just 6%. 100% of this would be 182,000 deaths. It's just 6% of that. you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I know that there's some social media platforms that you're not allowed to even remotely question this. How dare you suggest that people use real science when trying to determine whether or not
They
we
took
should
down the
all completely
president's
shut
tweet.
down the economy and
They took down his
ruin our
tweet
lives
this morning.
for something that the media and the Democrats really benefit from. They benefit from it.
Of course they
There's
do.
no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's a huge benefit to a lot of these people.
You gotta stop it
A lot of
though.
these groups yourself. And if I'm reading into this wrong, by all means, let me know in the comments. I kind of don't think I am, but maybe I am. I'm willing to be wrong. But this seems like so damning of information. This was, I don't know when this actually itself got posted, updated August 26th. So this was 3 days ago. Quietly updating this, not a lot of glamour, glitz and fame or spotlight put on this.
And the media is trying to deny it. They're trying to deny that this isn't real, that this is just like
maybe
something.
they deserved it, but
This is the
this is
CDC.
huge. Like, can we stop the nonsense?
Come on.